Some way we might get up and dance a big speaker and all kind of things. But we go parties and everything. But somehow we still don't really know the history of sound system and where it come from and where it start and everything. So today we feel like we are going at it, Yeah man, sound system the Jamaican way. In Jamaica, popular culture, a sound system is a group of disc jockeys, engineers, MCs playing music on a discotheque. You know what I mean? A portable sound, something can move. Yeah, the sound system is an important part of the Jamaican culture and history. The sound system concept first became popular in the 1940s in the parish of Kingston. DJs would load up a truck with a generator, turntables, huge speakers, amplifiers set up in the streets for street parties. Tom the Great Sebastian, founded by the Chinese Jamaican businessman Tom Wang, was the first commercially successful sound system and influenced many sound systems that came later. In the beginning, the DJs played American rhythm and blues music, but as time progressed and more local music was created, the sound migrated to a local flavor. The sound system remained successful when conservatives, BBC modeled Jamaican establishment radio refused to play the Jamaican people's music, while DJs could play whatever they wanted and favored on local sound systems such as reggae. The sound system were big business and represented one of the few sure ways to make money in the unstable economy of the area. The promoter or DJ made his profit by charging admission, selling food, alcohol. Often thousands of people were in attendance. By the mid-1950s, sound systems were more popular at parties than live musicians, and by the half of the decade, custom build systems began to appear from the workshops of specialists such as Headley Jones, who constructed wardrobe-sized speaker cabinets known as House of Joy. It was also around the time that Jamaica's first popular superstar DJ MC, Count Machuki, rose to prominence. As time progressed, sound system became louder, capable of playing bass frequency at 30,000 watts or more, with similar wattage attainable at the mid-range and high frequencies, and far more complex than their predecessors. Competition between these sound systems were fierce, and eventually two DJs emerged as stars of the scene, Clement Coxsone and Duke Reid. Besides a DJ who rapped over the music, there was also a selector who played and selected the music and the rhythm tracks. The popularity of the sound system was mainly contingent on one thing: having new music in order to circumvent the release cycle of the American record labels. The two sound systems superstar turned to record production. Initially, they produced only singles for their own sound systems, known as exclusives or dubplate, a limited run of one copy per song. What began as an attempt to replicate the American R&B sound using local musicians evolved into an uniquely Jamaican musical genre, ska. The shift was due partly to the fact that the American-style R&B was embraced by a largely white teen audience and evolved into rock and roll. Sound system owners created and played a steady stream of singles the people preferred, fast shuffle boogies and ballads. In response to this shift in the supply, Jamaican producers produced to their work some of the original elements of the Jamaican sound: rhythm guitar, strumming the offbeat, and snare drums emphasis on the third beat. For example, as the new music form became more popular, both Coxsone and Duke Reid began to move more seriously into music production. Coxsone production studio became the famous Studio One, while Duke Reid founded Treasure Island. As sound system continued to gain in popularity throughout the 1960s and 1970s, they became to politicize. In many instances, the DJs would often satirize current affairs, local events, taking on singing newspaper role, many sound systems and their owners were labeled as supporters of a particular party, such as PNP or JLP, but most of the sound system tried to maintain politically neutral. Nevertheless, as a cultural and economic phenomenon, the sound system was affected by the vast social political changes taking place in Jamaica at this time. An important part of sound system culture is the clash sound, an organized battle between two sound systems. Guinness Sounds of Greatness is one of many such clashes. In 2009, the Guinness Sound Clash was organized into 3 parts: a juggling round, where each sound system gets 15 minutes to get the crowd going, a tune-for-tune exchange of commercial releases, and a dub-for-dub where the sound system alternate special done specifically for the sound system playing the record. The culture of sound system was brought to the UK with the mass immigration of Jamaicans in the 1960s and the 1970s. Notably, UK sound system include Sir Coxsone Outernational, Jah Shaka, Channel 1, Abashanti, Jah Observer, Quaker City, Irration, Steppers, Fatman International, Saxa Studio. One of the first sound systems in the United States was Downbeat the Ruler, founded in Bronx, New York in the late 1970s. DJ Kool Herc, known as the father of hip-hop, was responsible for importing many of the elements of the Jamaican sound system culture to New York. Having immigrated with his family to the Bronx from Kingston at the age of 12, Herc grew up around dancehall parties, and despite being too young to enter, he would hang out outside the parties and then listen to the music. When he started hosting his own parties in New York, he was known for having the loudest and the most impressive sound system of anyone in the city, which heavily emphasized bass. He also introduced MC, Master of Ceremony, to the Bronx party scene, who are considered by some to be the first hip-hop rappers, as they emulated the toasting style of Jamaica's reggae DJs. Sound system were the method in which Jamaican migrants were able to maintain their cultural connection with the roots. They broadcast the remix samples of reggae beats and created an underground music culture. This culture was separate from the larger population which relied on the radio to provide popular music. These sound systems were played in warehouses, clubs, and street corners. This was simply not just music being played on the radio for a few people to hear, but a culture that evolved. Many people was developed out of being consumed by the sound through large sound systems. Sound system culture presented what Julian Enriquez referred to as sonic dominance. He is strategic in his usage of words, dominance, because it is visceral, and that this embodies the power and the pleasure of the sonic. The sound is an enveloping, immersive, and intense experience. The experience is so strong that sounds carry people as much as people carry sounds. Vibes find bodies to move. Dance acts as a natural, immediate response to dancehall sounds. And as Enriquez puts it, bodies have no musical burdens to bear, rather they are born along, even birthed by music. According to Enriquez, the sound system has also played an influential role in the global influence of Jamaican sound system or Jamaican music. Internationally, it has proved itself to be one of the most efficient of musical distribution mechanism, which has resulted in Jamaica's music influence on genres such as hip-hop, jungle, dubstep, and many more, while a part of its influence can literally be created to its superior audio fidelity over radio. The sound system also acts as a symbolic transmitter of shared experiences across the African diaspora.